Hi, welcome to the Sacramento River Watershed Information and Mapping Library, also known as the SWIM Library. In this tutorial, we're going to explain how to add a page to the SWIM library. The first step is going to be logging in to the website using your previously created user account. If you need more information on how to create an account, just go to the tutorial about creating a user account. Once we log in, this is going to take us to our Maintain SWIM library pages. In order to add a page for our resource, first thing we're going to do is click on Add a Library Page. That's going to take us to our Create New Resource Page Information Entry Sheet. Series of metadata fields that are going to give us information about the resource page and help us to organize them within the library. The resource I'm going to be adding will be the Lake Almanor Water Quality Report for 2009. So in order to speed things up, I'm just going to do a series of copy and paste. Paste the information into there. Okay, this type of is going to be called a document. Project, if this is part of a larger project, then we would enter that there. In this case, it's not. Now for the abstract, I'm going to go ahead and come into the report itself and go ahead and grab the introduction and project interview. That into there. Now, the purpose would be to document the water quality in Lake Almanor. If there was any supplemental information that I was interested in including, for example, I might include what parameters were monitored specifically. I could include information about the methods, but this is going to be discussed in the document itself, and really this information is to just give some supplemental information. Now the originator is going to be the Almanor Basin Watershed Advisory Committee. The contact is, in this case, is Emily Creeley. Now the date that the document was published, we can go back over here and look, and you'll see that it was published in 2009, December 2009. So we can do you have some options when you enter in publication date. You can enter in just the year, you can enter in year, month, and date, or you can enter in the year and the month. In this case, we have the year and the month. Start and end dates are unknown. Now the currentness refers to how current the conditions on the ground are related to the document. So in this case, the conditions on the ground were only current as of the publication date. Since then, things have changed and they no longer represent the ground conditions. If it was representative of the current conditions, then we could click ground conditions. This is a completed report. The update frequency in this case is unknown. We don't actually know how often or if at all The next step is going to be to add our bounding box. This is going to give a geographic reference to the resource and allow it to be referenced on our map and searched for geographically. Now, what we need to do is first of all move the map. So we come up here and click on that Move Map tool. And this is going to be for Lake Almanor, so we're going to center it on Lake Almanor. And that should be good. Now, in order to draw our bounding box, we have to go back to the Draw Box button. And then we're going to draw a box around the Lake Almanor basin. One thing I want to point out is that if you try to draw a map dragging from right to left, what happens is you get a box that goes around the world. So you definitely want to drag from the left side of the map over to the right side. And it doesn't have to be perfect. A general location will do. Now, what we find is that the coordinates for our bounding box have been added. Close the map up, and that information will be preserved. Okay. Now we're going to come in here and we're going to choose some scenes. So we're going to themes for this particular document. We're going to say biological sciences, conservation. Oh, let's see, is there a lakes? We want to do lakes, and then we want to come down here. We definitely want to do water quality, watershed management. Select multiple ones. You're gonna hit your control key, and hold that down while you're selecting, and that's going to allow you to pick multiple themes or keywords. And this is going to allow people to search based on those themes. So lakes, water quality, let's see, let's go back, because I switched off of lakes. I wasn't holding the control key, so we'll go back and get lakes, get hydrology. Inland waters, sure, yeah. I think that probably sums it up pretty good there. Access limitations, there's no restrictions on the access. Limits on the use. In this case, we're going to have this is for non-commercial use only. Now the data contact for this is going to be the Almanor Basin Watershed Advisory Committee. And now if our contact organization was not in this list, that would mean we would need to go back and add that organization into the SWIM library. So if we found that the organization we're looking for isn't in this list, we could pick one, just sort of as a placeholder, and I guess we could pick that blank one there, and then we could go back, add the organization, come back and edit our resource and choose the proper organization. Now the contact here is going to be, again, that's Emily Creeley. And the metadata contact, in this case, since we here at Deer Creek are entering in the metadata, that's going to be Deer Creek's information. And if you're the person entering the metadata, creating the metadata, then you are the metadata contact. If you're simply editing metadata that somebody gave you to enter, then whoever created that metadata would be considered the contact. The date's going to be the date that you've entered it. In this case, it's going to be July 2012. Ordering information. We don't have anything for that, and so what we're going to do now is submit this. And we're not quite finished yet. That's going to take us out to the resource page, and we can view our information abstract, purpose, contact information, themes, publication date, restrictions. One more thing that we want to do with this particular resource is to actually upload the document into the library. So before I can do that, I need to close the document out on my computer, and then I'm going to go back into maintain my pages and organizations, and I'm going to come into my pages and locate the resource I just added, which is right here. And I could just click on that, which would take me into edit, or I can click on the pencil paper icon, and that will also take me into the edit resource page. So basically we'll find is the same information we added before. If we need anything changed, we can go back and change it at this time. But what we find down at the bottom is a series of buttons for adding attachments. So I want to attach the PDF of the water quality report itself, and I'm going to hit attach file, and I'm going to go ahead and choose a file. It's going to bring up a file browser, which is going to let me search my local system for the proper file, and I'm going to add the 2009 Lake Almanor report. Attach that, and I think I will just write in here the title. Okay, and I'll hit upload, and that will load my file up. I'm going to give it a minute here. You can see it's, you look down here in the corner, it's contacting swimsacriver.org. And you can't actually see this part of my screen, but I can see that my browser is loading and working on loading the page. There we go. And that brings this up. So now here is our file. Now if we wanted to add more, we could go ahead and upload more files. Or we could also edit the description. We could click on it and look at the file. I'm going to go ahead and just turn to page here. That will return me to my resource page. And then I'm going to come down to the bottom of the page, and I'm going to go ahead and update and view the page. You can see that we have our PDF attached here. We have the opportunity to make any changes at that point if we want to. And then we come back out to the main resource page, and now we have our map showing us the bounding box that we created with a central information point that we can click on and go up there, and that's our water quality report and the location. And now we can come down here and scroll down to the bottom of the page, and we'll find the report, which we can click on. And that's going to bring up the PDF of the report. Now from here, people have access to the report. They can download it to their computer. They could simply read it if they want. Now that resource is available to anybody who is using the SWIM library.